Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. It's Kaylan Alex. If you're new here, welcome. Go ahead and subscribe. And if you're returning, thank you so much for tuning in. Guys, today is going to be a really good video because I feel like this is one of my top accessories for an outfit, and it is perfume. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of my most highly complimented, irresistible favorites at the moment. Fragrances. These are just ones that I have been wearing in heavy rotation, and I feel like are perfect for the springtime. So let's jump right into the video. So I'm gonna start out with a fragrance that is kind of familiar to some of us, a lot of us. It is gonna be the Hermes Twilly. I love and adore this perfume. So we'll start with the description of it. So it is a fragrance that's in the floral family. It is one of those powdery florals, and you can actually, when you smell it, you can smell the powder kind of vibes to it, which is personally why I love it so much, because it is a bit of a intense fragrance. Is definitely, you know, you smell her, but I definitely feel like that powdery aspect to it tones it down and makes it a little bit more soft. So the key notes are ginger, tuberose, and sandalwood, which also make it a little bit more, that kind of balances out that floral smell. So it's like a perfect mix of a wood and floral, if that makes sense. Like, it's not musky, it's not super like strong in that aspect. It's very feminine, and I feel like at the same time it's kind of light and playful, if that makes sense. So this is one of my favorite perfumes to wear if I'm like going for a girls' night out, or if I just want to feel extra feminine. I don't know, like that, when I'm feeling like that, this is probably the fragrance that I'm wearing, because that's just what that scent reminds me of. And that's another thing with like fragrance and scents. They're nostalgic, so they put you in the mind of a certain time or a certain place, you know. So I feel like that's also what makes perfumes special, because they remind you of a time, or to me they do. So this is one of the ones that I like to wear for those moments. Of course you can wear it whenever, but when I think of these moments and these times, I think of this perfume. Also described as a floral that is spicy, bold, if you will. You know, it's one of those fragrances that you definitely smell it, you know that it's strong, but it's also very soft and not so overpowering that it's like, I don't know. Now, of course, it's going to be based on the person, but if you kind of like florals or warm florals, this would be a fragrance that you would like. The next fragrance that I have on the list is, of course, another floral. It is Tom Ford's Black Orchid. Now this one is definitely one of those fragrances where you either like it or you don't, and for me, I love it. I feel like there's really no in between with this fragrance. Like, you really just have to like it and like this type of fragrance. To me, this fragrance is a little like velvety or something that it puts me in the mind of. So officially it is described as a warm floral, black truffle, patchouli, black orchid. It's a sweet black plum type of fragrance. Like, you definitely smell the fruitiness of it, but it's definitely a bossy, like you know how I'm coming type of vibe. That's what I feel when I smell this one. This is definitely kind of a night out perfume for me, just because of the depth of it, I guess is how I would describe it. It is one of the ones that is rich in fragrance and smell. So I like to save those type of perfumes for the nighttime or evening out or something like that, versus every day just, you know, running errands or just out and about during the day. I prefer to wear these type of fragrances at night or in the evening time. It's also described as having like a woody patchouli and warm vanilla type vibe. It's like a perfect mix between the two. It is definitely a bold and daring fragrance, and like I said, you either like it or you don't when it comes to this one. So this is definitely one that I suggest to don't blind buy unless you know that the ingredients are typically what you would like. I would definitely suggest going into a store smelling this one and then seeing if you like it or not. This fragrance to me just gives luxury, boldness, assertiveness. I feel like this is definitely one that I feel when I want to be bossy. It's just that mix of that strong woody patchouli smell that makes it a little bit more confident. It exudes confidence when you smell it. It's the best way that I can like put it when I think about how I feel when I smell this fragrance. So definitely one that is in heavy rotation, I think, of all of them. It is probably top 2. Not even gonna lie to you. Now this next one is definitely an OG. When I say OG, we are years into the game and I'm still excited about it. I still love it. It is the Maison Francis Kurkdjian Gentle Fluidity Silver. I know a lot of the girls are wearing the warm. I personally prefer the silver because to me, the silver is a little bit more light and it is a little more airy, I think, for me and for my taste, especially paired with the Baccarat, which we have beat into the ground. And I did not even want to like include that in the video because we have talked and ramped and raved about this fragrance so much. We've worn it out, but I think these two pair so nicely together. It's a nice balance between something a little bit more airy and sweet, but still strong, and you definitely feel them. They last long. These are two fragrances to me that will forever be in my collection separately and together. Of course, I have worn them separately, but when I pair them together, I just think chef kiss. So the Gentle Fluidity Silver is categorized similar to the gold. However, it is just a little bit different in the top notes and the actual fragrance. So the silver has more of a nutmeg and ambery woods. Those fragrances are what dominates the silver version. In the woody aromatic kind of family, the top notes are nutmeg oil and juniper berries oil, and then the base notes are musk, amber woods, and vanilla blend. So to me, this one is a little bit more softer and cooler versus the gold version. I feel like it's a little bit more warm and sweet. It's kind of like what I think of when I smell the two separately. Both very great fragrances. I feel like if you like one, you'll certainly like the other one. So this is just a matter of I like both or I like either or kind of thing. They both smell amazing though, but I happen to love the silver, have for a very long time, and I still do. So that is why she's the focus here, especially paired with the Baccarat. Love it. So the last two fragrances are going to be fragrances from Louis Vuitton. These are my favorite perfumes, like of now. I love these. Now I did mention that they are limited edition, but they were that amazing that I had to mention it, so that if you can get your hands on it, you definitely should while you can. So they are going to be the Louis Vuitton Dancing Blossom and Symphony. So I'll start with the Dancing Blossom. It is officially categorized as a swirl of petals in a hanging garden. So it's definitely one of those florals, of course, but it also has like a fruity aspect. And I think when you spray it and smell it, you'll definitely be able to pinpoint those floral versus fruity notes in the fragrance. Definitely has good lasting power. So per the Louis Vuitton website, it is categorized as having jasmine, a rose, tuberose. You also smell like a fruity apricot element to the fragrance. They work so well. These fragrances are 40% oil, so they last like all day, and then some. I sprayed some on one of my other jackets that I was wearing, or like my outfit. It is literally still on the jacket, and I'm just like, what? It was still on me, and that not in like a bad way that the smell or the fragrance just lingers on. That's just how well that it stays on. Like I said, it's 40% oil. It is a little bit more pricey, but these are limited edition fragrances. You get like a beautifully designed bottle. It's very much different from the normal Louis Vuitton fragrances. It is in collaboration with one of the best architects ever, Frank Gehry. So he collaborated with Louis Vuitton to create the fragrances as well as the bottles. I think there's a collection of maybe like 6 or 7 fragrances all, but my top 2 favorites are definitely the Dancing Blossom and Symphony. Now Symphony, oh my goodness, that is my number 1. I love Symphony. Honestly, these 2 fragrances I have gotten the most compliments on ever. I think whenever I've worn perfume, I've never gotten compliments like I have these 2 fragrances. That's why I'm mentioning them here, so that you can like go get your hands on them. Symphony is my top favorite. It is one of those airy, light, but still, of course, 40% oil. It's got staying power fragrances that I just love. This is that nice blend when I want to step away from the true florals. This is like what I want. This to me is a day-to-day, everyday, day to night type of perfume. It's like an all-purpose perfume. It smells that great. So per the Louis Vuitton website, it is described as intense freshness sparkles at the heart of Fantasy Island. You definitely smell the, like I said, it's airy, it's breezy. It smells like how you would think of vacation on a beautiful tropical island. The key notes are ginger, bergamot, orange, grapefruit. It also has that fruity, velvety, you know, scent and feel to it. And like I said, these are highly concentrated fragrances, so they last all day. A little goes a long way. Like I mentioned, these are limited edition. However, between the time that they're here, if you run out, you can still get a refill. And what I'm hoping they do is keep Symphony and Dancing Blossom, because I know that those 2 are 2 of the most popular fragrances. I hope they keep them, but if they don't, I'm hoping that they keep it to where those who have purchased the fragrances can continue to get refills, you know, once the fragrances or the collection and collab is gone. Fingers crossed. I know that they do that for some discontinued fragrances, so I'm hoping that this is the case with these and these are just like gone forever, because I truly love and adore them. And I love that they are 40% oil, so they're highly concentrated. And this is like a big deal for Louis Vuitton fragrances, because sometimes they don't have the best, you know, concentration and staying power. I love them. Afternoon Swim is like top tier for me. I love that fragrance. I love it paired with other ones, but realistically, they aren't as concentrated as these are. And they have that beautiful packaging. It just all wraps together and creates a nice little fragrance. And I feel so great when I wear them. So like I said, I get the most compliments on those. I would highly suggest going into a store or going into an actual boutique to test them out, so you can get a feel for like what I'm saying. The girls who get it. You'll definitely get it. So guys, that's gonna be it for this video. Those are gonna be my most highly complimented perfumes to date. My favorite perfumes, the ones that I absolutely adore and would highly recommend. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, drop a nice comment down below, subscribe, hit the notification so you get a notification when I post again, and I will see you in the next video.